The hardest things getting used to is just coming home and just realizing that like one of your parents isn't there, especially when you went your whole life with your parents, with both of them. You know what I mean? It's hard to just have them there and then 1 second they're gone. It was good growing up. Grew up with a lot of siblings. I got a little brother, Dennis. He's 19. Older brother, Corey. Another older brother, Lante. Oldest brother, Antonio. Dinner time was a hassle in our household.
He was a really good kid. Actually, you couldn't have asked for a better kid. Didn't experience really any problems out of him. He was always smart in school. He was always athletic.
And then our parents was always there. My dad came to every game. I played my little league down in the inner city of Detroit Pal. That was a really good experience for us. That was where I really learned to play the game. My coaches, little league coaches, I still talk to a good percentage of them to this day.
They were young and, they were raised up with their father. Their father was extremely involved. Like, it was nothing for me to ask for breaks. I didn't have to ask because he was very involved with them. So they were close. They were extremely close. And dealing with two young boys, accepting the fact that they won't be able to see their father won't be involved in their life for quite some time.
When I was in middle school, one morning, I got dropped off at the bus stop, went to track practice, came back from track practice, nobody was home. House kind of looked like tornado came through. Then later on found out that police came to our house, took my dad into custody. And then as time went on, it was hard, the initial shock. It was hard just finding myself.
It was really hard. It was hard, to have to explain to him once he got home from school that, it may be a chance that he may not see his dad, so it was hard.
I had to learn that there was really nothing I could do to get my dad out of the situation. All I could do is make the situation better for what it was. It took me about a year to understand. I say my dad going away was, I say, the tipping point. That was probably like one of the lowest points in my life. No kid deserves to go through that. No kid deserves to lose their parents for any time. My mom, my dad, my little brother, we all grew really close to one another, and we all used the situation to grow. My mom, she stuck by me and my little brother, and she made sure we had everything we needed. She's the glue to the family.
In the beginning, he kind of shut down. And I knew what it was from. We started, just sitting down, opening up about feelings. Me, him, and Dennis just sitting down and opening up with each other about the way we were feeling. And if it was something that, you wanted to talk about, feel free. Let me know. And eventually he started just talking and, being a little more open and interacting with his peers and football. And, I made sure, because I knew that was his passion, and I was not going to let that be taken away from him, because that is what he kind of buried himself in. That's what he kind of released a lot of, his issues or things that he was dealing with. He released it out on that field. So I knew I was not going to, allow that to be taken away.
That's when I learned what I could do on the football field, because I spent a lot of time training, working out, just putting my energy into other places. Even though I loved the game, it gave me a release that I could use it for as well. Obviously, it made my love for the game grow too, because it just made me just train more and put more into the game. When I was in high school, I started working in a group by the name of Peer Connections. Had the privilege of working with about 2 to 3 dozen students of special needs, and it was just amazing. That's when I started to realize that everybody's a person, you know what I mean? And everybody just wants to be treated like they're a person, like they're a normal individual. I had probably one of the best experiences of my life with a kid, Jared, and we were just playing basketball, and that's all we did. We had the time of our lives. Like, we had a blast. We both worked up a sweat. We were high-fiving. At the end of it, they were all looking at me, and they're like, do you know what you just did? Like Jared, like, he's like one of the hardest students to work with in the program. Like that was huge. And I was like, nah, honestly, no. Like, I was just playing basketball.
Oh, he really made those kids' day, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe he told me about the program, and I was like, okay, I can see you doing that, you know. And then I would go to the games, and he really made those kids' day. It's so surreal when I, you know, look at Antjuan. I mean, because he is a true diamond. Like, he is hard to come by. He really is. I don't know. I'm speechless sometimes. Like, kid, where did you come from? Like, where did you come from?
In the Holiday Bowl, it was third quarter, I think, like 8 minutes left, I want to say, somewhere around there. And running back leaked out from the boundary to the field. I saw it the whole way. I broke. Quarterback dumped it down to him as soon as he caught it. Hit him in his quads, but the initial impact caused my compression fracture in one of my vertebrae. I initially thought it was like my shoulder or something, because I got a little stinger and I had the wind knocked out of me, of course. So I blacked out on the hit and woke up looking up. That was probably the lowest, the hardest thing that I've been through. That whole time I'm being told that if I do one thing wrong, or if I sleep wrong, or if I do anything, my spine could collapse and I'll never be able to play football again, or I could move the wrong way and not be able to play the game again, or even come back and be healthy and not be able to play the game the same way. So I was not terrified, but I was skeptical. I didn't know if I could do it myself. It took me really long. It took me towards the end of my sophomore season where I was comfortable within myself, I'm back, I can play, you know what I mean? I can still play at a high level, you know what I mean? I had to prove that to myself.
He just brings a lot of energy, and if a guy's having a tough day or a rough day, Antjuan will be there to put a smile on their face and help them stop thinking about the things outside of football and help them focus on the football for the 2 to 3 hours we're there throughout the day so we can get better as a team.
It's not a shock that he is, you know, taking on such a big leadership role, or, you know, just being involved in the community. It's not a shock at all, because he stepped up to the plate with me, helping me with his brother.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Antjuan Simmons, MSU senior linebacker. Antjuan, would you please come forward? Antjuan, speaking on behalf of the football team, embodies what it means to be a Spartan. He doesn't run from a challenge. He's one of the unquestioned leaders on this team, and he was one of the players the athletic department reached out to when they wanted input on the selection of the next head coach at Michigan State University.
Being able to introduce Coach Tucker as our new coach, being able to do a number of other things, being on the anti-hate coalition and talking to Commissioner Warren, Just being able to do things like that is motivating. It makes me want to keep going and doing good things and representing the university, myself, my family, everybody in a good manner, and that means everything to me. You represent the name on the front and the back. You know, it's not just the name on the back. I feel welcomed here. I feel appreciated. I feel like I matter here, like I mean something, and that means a lot to me. So it makes me just want to do everything I can to make sure that Michigan State is better from the point I got in, or my jersey is left in a better place than what I got it in.